Hi everyone, and welcome back to day 6 of my 30-day golf mobility challenge. I'm the Digital Golf Doc, and my promise to you is you give me 5 minutes a day over the next 30 days, and I'll give you the best golf mobility you've ever had. Today we're going to work on the hips, so we're going to start by dropping out into a V position with our legs. We can sit up nice and tall. You can have your hands behind you for support. You're going to feel like we want to pull our toes up toward our body. We're going to hold the tension there, and then we're going to roll our legs all the way out and all the way back in. And we're going to repeat this 10 times. And as you move, what you might feel is a little bit of tension on either the inside or outside of your hips, which is perfectly fine. You should feel some tension. The good news is this position is unweighted. There's not a lot of stress to the hip joint here. So it's not a very likely position to cause any injury. So you can feel free to push into that stretch without a worry that it's going to irritate something. We've got about 3 more repetitions. And 1, 2, keeping our breathing controlled, and 3. Now next, we're going to take our hands up and we're going to start mobilizing our hamstrings a little bit more. Now I like you to keep your toes tilted back. Tensions your hamstrings, your calves, actually your sciatic nerve as well. And we're going to reach down to that toe, then we're going to come up and we're going to reach down to the other toe. So we're going to make this a nice dynamic movement where we're going in and out of stretch in a smooth, controlled fashion. Now, you might not be able to reach all the way down to your foot, which is perfectly fine. That's exactly the type of person who actually needs to stick with these videos over the full 30 days. But if you can get down there, go ahead. And if not, just get as close as you can while maintaining control and not feeling like you're going to rip your hamstring off the back of your leg. We don't want that type of feeling. And let's do 1 more each side. Perfect. Now, we're going to add a little bit of a rotation component to this. So we're going to reach with our opposite hand to the leg on the other side. I'm going to reach down. Try and touch as far down as I can on my foot. You can take your other arm, your support arm, and set it on the ground next to you so you don't feel like you're falling over. And we're going to repeat this for 10 reps on each side. This is number 4. Hamstring mobility is one of those things talked about a lot. And I've seen a ton of patients and clients over the years struggle with hamstring mobility or these chronically tight feeling hamstrings. And what I've noticed more than anything is everyone wants to do these static stretches. They'll grab a band and wrap it on their foot and try and yank their leg overhead. Or they'll put their leg up in a doorway, or they'll try and do the toe touch stretch constantly. But the problem with all those is they're static. They're not dynamic. These dynamic movements tend to improve mobility much more in the long run. Static stretching will improve it, but then it usually kind of lasts a few hours and then you're back to feeling stiff and sore the next day. I've actually lost count, so I'm just going to do 1 more on each side. And perfect. Now next, we're going to go into a Starfish Reach. Now, I've done this with some different variations. Today, I want you to try and keep your knees straight as you do it, because we've already got the seam where we're trying to stretch out our hamstrings. So we're going to keep the leg and knee straight. We're going to turn, reach as far as you can, and then we'll come back up. You can bend it as you come back up, but you'll straighten it when you reach. So straighten when you reach, bend as you come back. Straighten as you reach, bend as you come back. And your arms can hang out to the side. You can rest your hands on your chest if you want. But you do want to try and keep your upper back in contact with the ground so that we know we're forcing the movement to happen at our hips, or at the very least our lumbar spine. We're going to repeat this a few more times to each side. Make sure you're continuing to control your breath. You never want to hold your breath when you're working on mobility, because you shouldn't be holding your breath in competition, so it's not a habit you want to start. Plus, it usually adds tension to the system and actually makes it harder to get a good stretch. 1 more to each side. And back around. And then we're going to come all the way back up to seated. We're going to go back into that V position we started in. Hand support, we'll bring our toes back, and we'll roll out and roll in. And what you should notice, as you're seeing on me, is I've gained some range of motion throughout the length of this video. So I know for today I've accomplished my task and improved my mobility. I'll continue to work this over the whole 30-day challenge, and I'll be left as a more mobile golfer at the end. Thanks for joining me today, and I will catch all of you tomorrow on the Digital Golf Doc's 30-Day Mobility Challenge. See ya.